But has this given you any recognition in any form? All this work and all this expertise.
I have had enough recognitions in my life for my singing.
No,
my
for
speeches.
this export thing.
I don't really.
Where you are awarded, rewarded.
Oh, professionally for Rukman?
Yes, for professionally.
This is the award that I won. This was given in the hands of the famous Jyotiraditya Scindia ji jo hai. So this was a function which was held in over 8 hours. And there was a huge export function, export award ceremony. And this was one award. Then I won another year some certificate of merit. So for our export transactions, several awards have come. And even as a person, I recently was recognized by the University of Mumbai as a very illustrious citizen. So that there is one here, which is the Namasankirtana Chudamani given by a large institution in Chennai. So awards have come, but I think awards does not make the man.
No, it is just the recognition. That's
It is
all.
only an acknowledgement of the good work that somebody has done.
Yes.
And when somebody recognizes that, you feel nice about it.
Yeah. So apart from this, the other awards that you are talking about, that is in a different field, in this particular field. But to come to this level, initially there were no computers when you started this business. There was not even a fax machine. I think India's first fax machine was brought in by you, and that.
A very, very funny thing. I traveled extensively during my formative years when I started this company. Originally, every country I would go start searching for the potential customers, take an appointment, go and meet them, and come back. Again, go back after 2 months. So that process went on, and we were dealing in very, very many molecules.
Correct.
You won't believe we did malathion, we did cypermethrin, we did phenvalerate, alpha cypermethrin.
Yes, I remember because that you had to create
Rendane, malathion, naphthalene acetic acid, naphthalenic acetic acid, sodium salt. We did isoproteron, and so the molecules were plenty.
You had to create that MSDS something for.
Yes, that is a material safety data sheet, which is required for doing the shipments. Because if something goes wrong, we did aluminum phosphide, zinc phosphide, which are all of by very higher danger class. So this is called class 6.2, where the products are highly toxic, they are flammable, they are very poisonous. So it was difficult to carry. Suppose some accident happens and it spills out. So how do you control that?
Yeah.
So that is why the material safety data sheet is there. So that when you refer to that material safety data sheet, you will know how to take care of any possible accident, or if the ship, if it falls into water, what should be done. There is a product called bromine. If it comes in contact with water, it will burn.
Yeah.
So like that, we had several molecules. So knowing all this was itself a challenge. So once you knew all this, then you convert that into action. So we did that successfully for many, many years. Then we realized that today, with the change in the communication methodology, earlier even to make a phone call was a big assign. You have to book a call, and then that call will suddenly the call will come. Then you speak to them. So all those complications we have lived through, and in the earlier times.
But tell me about that fax
Yeah,
machine.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming. So the communication methodology has undergone a serious change. And in the earlier times, we were the only company possibly that we used telephones extensively, international calls, though it was costing quite a lot of money, but we did that. Then we had telex, where you had to sit and type, and it was converted into a tape, and that tape will then get inserted into the machine, and then you'll keep on dialing the number. When you got the number, you insert the tape and press, and then the message will go.
Correct.
This was the telex. So similarly, incoming time, somebody will be calling you up, and when you are ready and the machine is free, then they will send a message, and on the other side you will have the tape which will get perforated like this, which will come out on the other side, which is then taken to a reader, and you put that tape onto that reader, and it will read the message. So this was the telex, which was extremely complicated.
Correct.
Of course, you also had telegram, but telegram you can't send a long message.
Correct.
Whereas telex you could send a long message, but the constraint was it can only handle text, it cannot handle images. So when you wanted to send an LC copy, you can only send the text of the LC. You can't send the LC itself.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of difficulty. Then suddenly we had photocopying machines where you could copy an image and take a copy out of that, number of copies or whatever. Then we had this facsimile, which is called a fax. where on the telephone, whatever image you put, that same image will come out of your machine here. So that was a revolutionary change. So I saw this in Singapore when I was traveling, and I was flabbergasted. I said, oh my God, there is a solution, and I just bought it. And as you know, I have this fad for buying anything that is new, which I see in the market,
whether it is
anything
electronic or otherwise,
useful or otherwise, sometime it will become useful, and just pick it up. So I brought the fax machine, and in the customs I was caught. They said, declare this. What is this? So I said, it's a fax. They said, what is a fax? So I had to explain, whatever image you put there, that image will come out here. But they just couldn't understand because nobody knew what was there. So I said, it is a photocopying machine types. But the difference is, it is online, live. So they ultimately passed it as a photocopier, and then I cleared the machine. And yeah, possibly I was the first one to import a fax machine into India. And now then it became very common. And after that, the internet got developed. Then those times computers were not very developed.
Yeah.
Even to type a letter, there was something called Unix.
Yes.
And even to put a full stop, comma and all that, you had to give a lot of commands.
Correct.
And it was to get one letter ready, you spent one day.
Yeah.
But slowly that all changed, and then you had computers, then you had
DOS came, then came DOS.
Then Windows came, then laptops came.
That is when you started websites.
Websites, internet, yeah, we had websites which explained all the activities of the company. But what I'm trying to say is the communication methodology has undergone a serious change. So now what is happening is most of the people want to cut the spread in the negotiation price. So if the product cost is $10, nobody wants to pay 10 plus 1. So they want to pay only 10 plus. So all the information that they have acquired from the traders, they have used. And now everybody wants to do directly with the manufacturers.
Correct.
So we also had to make a course correction. So we reduced the agrochemical business, we went on to pharmaceuticals, then we handled some industrial chemicals also like surfactants, surface active agents, wetting agents, and those kind of intermediate products which are required for agrochemicals. All that we did, and now today we have come to a cycle where we are selectively doing 2-3 products and 2-3 markets, and where the order comes on its own. There is no negotiation, there is no travel, there is no visits, nothing. The orders come, we check with the manufacturer, we accept the order, the price is, profit is fixed, and the material comes, they get checked, you negotiate, within 15 days the money comes.
Okay.
So the cycle has become very short. So we are sitting just we are able to now spend time on other things like in zinc and all that. So that agrochemical business has come a complete cycle.
After agrochemicals, you also started indenting business along with it. So what happened to that?
No, indenting business again depended on the imported chemicals. So Akshay Mehta, who was my partner, he was representing a Japanese company, a product called hydrogen hydrate, which was used in power stations and all that. So we did that business for about 10 years, and then that molecule stopped because every chemical molecule undergoes a change.
Correct.
So when it stopped, we stopped that business, and we in fact closed that company. Then we started another company called Ecom India Private Limited, where we still continue, and some small electronic items we were dealing in, but it does not have a major scope.
Ecom also is responsible for one India's first suburban-based website.
Absolutely. In fact, in Ecom, we started the suburb-based websites like Chembur.com, dadarmatuga.com, bandaraeast.com, andheriEast.com. So the idea was on the internet site, you give the idiosyncrasy of the entire suburb. You know how many restaurants are there, how many bungalows are there, how many shops are there, how many hospitals are there, how many plumbers are there, how many cars. So like that, you create a story about that suburb, and it became extremely popular. And in fact, there was a stunning story behind that. There was a time when Chembur.com was visited by NASA, and you know we also used to do the analytics as to who is seeing this, and one such hit was from NASA. So I was stuck, why would NASA look at Chembur.com? Then I realized that Chembur.com had put an article of Dr. Chidambaram, who was living in Chembur, was the chairman of the BARC. He had published an article about how you electronically deactivate a flying object. So there was some interesting article which we had published in Chembur.com, and then that I think the NASA had seen, and also we were the first official website of Bharat Petroleum since they were in Chembur.
Yes. We NASA also visited for one more purpose, was that Kalyan Raman Dikshitar. He had talked about the Vedic this thing of building the bricks.
No, in the yajna,
Hmm.
you put bricks which can withstand very high temperatures. So when NASA used to send a spacecraft, on the re-entry, the heat generated is very, very high.
Correct.
So they wanted to know which are the objects which can withstand such a great increase in the temperature. So Kalyadrama Dikshatar was an expert in yajna, the yajna कार्य जो करते हैं, उसमें जो bricks रखते हैं, तो they could withstand. So they also saw that.
That was also another reason why it was visited. Apart from that, after that, then you also moved on to one more business, right? One was Rutmark, one was Rutshemi, one was E.com, and then you moved into InSync.
Yeah.
Why did you? And I mean, this is not even related to any of your previous endeavors.
I think I already mentioned that InSync was an accident.
No, how did you come to? After that, you have taken over, all right, but it is definitely. I don't think it is definitely that easy.
No, it is because I was engaged in finance.
Hmm.
In finance, I had a complete grip for 35 years handling classical music. Then I became the chairman of Music Forum. Then I became the vice president in Indian Musicological Society. So there was a lot of domain knowledge on Indian classical music, both Hindustani and Carnatic, which was very rare. Because people would know Hindustani, but they did not know Carnatic. People know Carnatic, but they don't know Hindustani. So I acted as a kind of a bridge between the two. We held a lot of national level seminars in Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore, Chennai. So we could bring the beauty of both the systems together. This was Uttar Dakshin project through Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts. And through this initiative, we could bridge the gap between the two streams of music. So there was a huge domain knowledge. And television was a natural organic growth for that domain knowledge to acquire an expression. So we thought InSync is the best way that we can take that knowledge onto the viewers so that young children will try to learn from the whatever the content they see on the channel.
Now, in the InSync, how do you? How did I mean? You entered. This is what you have explained. That how you entered, how you started it. Now, what do you do with that?
See, today we have become the world's largest classical music platform.
And the only, if I mistake not, for
No, only in India. But otherwise, world over, there are many such classical platforms. But we have become the largest.
for Indian classical.
No, we have become the largest platform for classical music anywhere in the world. Because today we have almost 5,000 hours of proprietary video content. So the cost of that, if somebody wants to start a channel like this, the entry level would be 100 crores.
Okay.
So the content is the business. Content is intangible. It is not a property which you can see.
Correct.
It is unseen, but it has value. Knowledge has value. Knowledge cannot be seen. Intelligence cannot be seen, but it has value.
Right.
So similarly, the content has a huge value. So this content is the king. Today we are sitting on a wide range of collection. So we have Hindustani, we have Carnatic, we have Sufi, we have Ghazal, we have fusion music, we have instrument music, we have conversations with great artists. So each one has its own value. So having done all this, today InSync is a platform which is, in India it is only platform for classical music. So obviously it is going to grow. There is no way it can it can go back, it can only go forward.
Being in business for so many years, you have to deal with various government departments, from billing to any other this thing, to licensing. What was the most difficult part for you?
No, I think things have become highly simple now. There was a time when everything required a physical visit.
Correct.
Whether it is income tax, whether it is licensing, whether it is cash incentive, whether it is claiming any benefits, whether it was excise duty or Troy, for everything you required a physical visit. But now everything is online. And there was a time when income tax refunds will take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
I think you are still awaiting one refund, right? Or did it come?
No, it has come. No, what I'm trying to say is, in the earlier times, income tax used to take 3-4 years before the refunds can come, or even before it can be assessed, because they just kept it without assessment. So as a result, the refund could never be sanctioned. gone are those days. And then it required a lot of visits to the. In fact, your father was a specialist in that.
Yes.
He was ensuring that income tax filing was done, refunds were taken, and whatever cases were there to argue it out. So it was a very complicated structure earlier. But now everything is online. And I was stunned for one of the companies. We filed the returns and within 2 days we got the refund. So that is the speed with which it is happening. Yes, the earlier times it was a very complicated, it was a thankless job dealing with the government. But today I think it's become a very easy cakewalk.
So does that give any hopes to the new entrepreneurs or?
No, today the new entrepreneurs are extremely lucky because they don't have to undergo this churn. During our time it was a hell of a job, and everywhere the owner has to go.
Yeah.
Suppose there is a case, it is not that you can send your deputy because they would not allow any explanation from the deputy. So invariably the owner had to go to all this, क्या बोलते हैं, माथा टेकने के लिए जाना पड़ता था, साल में एक बार उनको जाके मिलना पड़ता था, दिवाली का बड़ा लिस्ट आता, वो सब देना पड़ता था. अभी सब बंद हो गया, सब बंद हो गया. Everything happens smoothly and everything is clear.
So, from this business thing, you also have another cap that you wear, and that is your Naam Sankirtan or Mohan Pai's legacy that you carry forward. In that, you have explained how you started that journey, when it started. How did it progress, or where did it progress?
Earlier, it started with fun. Then it became you sang and somebody appreciated. Then it became that, oh, you are singing well. Then it became you are singing on the mic for an audience. And then it became that you are still ignorant. So you go a little forward, then you realize that no, you don't deserve that because you have not still learned it. So you come back and you want to start. That is when this All India Radio thing happened. And All India Radio invited us to do that session on Maharashtra Abhang, on Naam Sankirtan. Originally they had talked to us for 4 episodes.
For Ashadhi Ekadashi,
For
right?
Ashadhi Ekadashi, starting with Ashadhi Ekadashi. There was one Director General of Bombay, Mumbai thing, and Mr. Vijay Dakshit. He talked to us for doing 4 episodes. Generally giving a broad form of Naam Sankirtan. But as luck would have it, with the response that All India Radio received, this was extended and extended. Finally, it went up to 52 episodes.
Yes.
So we were given the responsibility of analyzing this format of Naam Sankirtan, and it became accountable. We became accountable to give authentic information about the Naam Sankirtan, about the various Maharashtrian saints. So 52 episodes meant quite a lot of research work.
Correct.
So we did that, and we would intersperse the stories with an Abhang and a little anecdote here and there. So every time we had to go to the All India Radio station to do the recording, and it was a strenuous job.
Yes.
At one point of time, I had to tell Mr. Dakshit that we have done enough and we are not able to do it anymore. Because the same level of passion was missing from the other side. For them, it was a daily job.
Yeah.
So very often you go there at 9 o'clock in the morning until 11:30, nobody turns up. Then they will turn up and then they'll go for a cup of chai, and then they'll want to break for lunch. So one realized that very valuable time was being spent on that. Just when we finished it, the All India Radio Pondicherry approached me and they wanted to do 18 episodes in Tamil. So we finished that by even engaging other artists, like we had Sudha Raghunathanji, Udayadu Kulandraman, Savita Sriram, Dr. Ganesh. Like that we had, so we made them sing, and I only handled the commentary part in Tamil.
Yeah.
So we engaged voices, good voices, and 18 episodes were done. That became a major hit.
Correct.
And just when that got over, Arangudi told me, why don't you do Navaham, 1 hour video presentation on each of the saints.
Correct.
So in this entire journey, we were able to cull out a lot of information, some of them known, but most of them unknown. So that repository of knowledge that we acquired during this journey is so valuable, and which needs to be taken forward to the next generation. So now I am dreaming at somehow documenting all this, and then Samadhi Sohla,
Yes.
which is a highest point in the Maharashtrian cultural tradition, where Namdev has written those beautiful 80 poems, and the raga which Mohan Pai has done. So this entire repository needs to be presented to the next generation. So in my mind, I am working on a formula through which we can do that. So Nam Sankirtan is not just giving programs, it is being accountable and it is being authentic. So for doing that, you have to understand so many things: the song, the composition, the scene, the situation, the perspective, the perplexity of the entire thing. I think we have almost gone through that journey now. So we are in a situation where we are able to give it to the audience at the click of the button.
If you are saying that this is so complicated to understand one particular and you have reached that, tell me something. How did you start this journey in research? What was your first research, if you recall?
No, I don't want to relive that age because a lot of work was done. Suffice it to say that the work was done. But now, why did we succeed? I'm sure many people would have tried. It's not that we are the only ones who would have done. Many people would have tried. But here was a combination of knowledge on language, knowledge on Abhang, knowledge on Bhava, knowledge on technology, knowledge on research, knowledge on modern electronic tools to be handled. So the combination of all this enabled us to bring out that story successfully. For example, when we did Alamudi, we had to engage a stage, we had to engage 3 cameras, we had to have Vittal in the front, we had to do a nice ambience, we had to do audio runs, and with that we created that Vara story.
Right.
And then we had to intersperse with our own Abhangs which were recorded earlier. So it was not a one-stop thing. It's a multiple stop. So the advantage of each stop we carried forward to the next stop.
Correct.
So you kept on accumulating. So it had a cascading effect. So today we are at a scene where we have gone through this journey and we have that repository ready in whatever language. If we have done it in Tamil for Alamudi, I can do the same thing for English to a different audience. Then we also did animation stories.
Yes.
We did almost 5 stories where we have tried to narrate the story of a saint in just 5 minutes to a child audience.
Yeah, correct.
So we did the commentary in Hindi, and what I see is it has become one of the most successful things on the YouTube.
Yeah.
That is what people see extensively because it's very simple. And in 5 minutes you get to know the story of, say, Namdev's childhood, how he did the Naivedya,
correct,
or how he did turned the Aundya Nagnath Shiva temple,
correct,
or how Choka Meda lived, or how Gora Kumbhar went through his life story. So all these stories within 5 minutes,
correct,
you are able to give them the clips. And I think it's an extremely easy tool for anyone to
It's
handle.
not only for children, even for the ignorant adults, as we can say.
Yeah, I will not call them ignorant, I will call them uninitiated.
Okay.
People who did not know about this Sampradaya. As to many people don't know what is Abhang.
Correct.
What is the word Abhang? Now, just to give an explanation, Bhanga means the turns. Krishna was called the Tribhangi. You know, he had 3 twists in his body. So when he stood like this to play the flute, there were 3 curves. Now if you see any Odissi dance, the whole focus is on that Tribhangi posture.
Correct.
So when he converted himself from Krishna to Vitthal, he became Abhangi. He stood straight with his hands on his
Correct. Correct.
So he became straight. So this is a very simple explanation for Abhanga. And Abhanga is not simple, composition which have to be sung to a raga or a particular tala or complicated structure. It is a simple philosophy which touches the human heart, not the human intellect, like the classical music would do. And you touch the human heart with just 7-8 lines of story. And if you put it in an attractive raga or whatever, it only helps to get the message to the audience. And it is a highly participative format.
Correct.
It is not a format where an individual is engaged. In fact, only today morning I was reading that while Yajna, Yaga, Tapa and all this is done individually, it is the Nam Sankirtan which becomes community oriented. But also within the community oriented, you had, say, Kakadarthi and Haripat, which was again done individually. So the saints say that when you become a Panditya, you become a Pandit, you start knowing things, you become an Acharya, you have lot of knowledge, Jnana, it invariably leads to Damba. Whereas the saints always wanted to avoid the Damba, the arrogance of Damba. So while you had the knowledge, you read Kakadarthi and Haripat and always declared yourself to be servile to God, so that the Damba is constantly pushed low and the human becomes humble. So to have that simplicity, one has to constantly do this process on a 24/7 basis. So only in the morning I was reading that is why Kakadarthi, which is done as a loner, and the Hari part, which is again done as an individual, is also very important because you surrender yourself to God. So it is Abhang is singing, whereas Kakadarti and Hari part is chanting. So when you do the meditation and constantly remind you that you are nothing but a small speck of dirt in the overall creation. So it makes you become humble in your life.
What was the first individual program that you did, if you remember?
I don't know, I can't recall. I was always accompanying my elder brother.
No, after
and
that.
maybe I started singing because of Mohan Bhai Sardar.
Yeah.
I can't really recall which was my individual. It must be some Ganesh Chaturthi or some such thing, where Tenga Modi, we used to call it in Tamil, as a prasad, it's all what you say. And my latest experience was when I performed in there in Osmanabad, which was extensively covered by the newspapers, Marathi newspapers. And for me, that was a very satisfying journey where you have, from nothing, you have come to a level where you can sit on the stage and the audience, you will have accomplished performers. Like we had Pandit Satish Vyas, we had Pandit Suhas Vyas, Dr. Narmada was accompanying me. So in the midst of a very enlightened, musically enlightened class, you could still sing and make a big mark.
There was a different kind of audience. Actually, though these important people or maestros in the musical world were present, equally the people who were in the Varkari Sampradaya, who are the experts in that, and they were enjoying more.
Absolutely.
Actually, that was
fun. Women of the village, women folk, but they are quite knowledgeable.
Yeah, and they knew most of the songs.
Yeah, even the children.
Yes.
Children are quite knowledgeable. So we had a good mix of audience. You had the very trained classical musicians, and on the other side you had the Varkari Sampradaya experts. And I am extremely happy that with that rich kind of a congregation, like we did in Swami, in front of the Madurai Swamiji, and he thoroughly enjoyed. So this is a validation of what you did, and one is extremely happy.
For programs, you have travelled a lot. First I think it was within Mumbai, then it was around in Maharashtra, then you have travelled outside Maharashtra, and now you have last I think quite a few years or so you have been travelling abroad.
I will tell you the first time it happened. Some devotees from Malaysia have watched my program in Tenagore, and they were quite sad because of the Tamil. People think that I am a Marathi Abhang expert.
You performed for the first time outside India in Malaysia? I thought it was London.
No, but Malaysia was a very interesting example. London was okay, but Malaysia, people were not known to me. In London, I knew Rani well, and when I went to London for the Brighton conference, couple of times she asked me in the South Hall Temple, in the Wimbledon Temple, that I performed. But Malaysia was very funny. In fact, I had gone for a business trip. I was traveling Taiwan, Vietnam, Indonesia, or 4-5 countries. And that time I just told them that I may go via Kuala Lumpur on the way back. So we could just meet to say hello, whatever. So I told them I'm coming on such and such a day on such and such a flight. So Maya, who's there in the Malaysian ashram, said, Ganesh Kumarji, since you are coming to Kuala Lumpur, you must at least come and visit us for 3 days. We should have a program in the Samajam. I said, fine, we'll do it. So please come and receive me at the airport. And anybody who has gone to Kuala Lumpur will realize that the Kuala Lumpur city is quite far from the airport.
Yeah.
So here I am. I think I was traveling Taiwan to Taipei to Kuala Lumpur, and I come to Kuala Lumpur, and they said we will come and receive you at the airport. So I am waiting there, and there is no sign of anybody to receive me. Almost 1.5 hours. And those days the mobiles did not have international connections. You had to buy that local SIM card. So I had a mobile, but I could do nothing. And almost I gave up. But then my return ticket was booked after 3 days. So what do I do for 3 days? So I thought I will go to the city, take a hotel and stay or whatever. Just like when that was happening, one lady came to me and meekly said Radhe Krishna. And I said Radhe Krishna. She said, oh, we are waiting for the last 2 hours for you. I said, why I am waiting here for the last 1.5 hours? I am standing here. He said, no, but we didn't know you were Ganesh Kumar. I said, what? And then it dawned on me that I am in a suit, and they expected the same dress which they have seen in Tenagore, which is a veshti with an angavastram. So they had a different figure in mind when they were searching for Ganesh Kumar, and I was looking at I didn't know who was going to come in to see me. So after 1.5 hours, and there was a crowd of 20 people with all the Purna Kumbham and all that to receive me, and then they took me a kind of a procession. Then I performed for 3 years. So overseas visits and overseas programs have also become plenty now.
Which was the first program out of Maharashtra? By any chance you recollect?
No,
Must have been with Mohan Pai, right?
No. I was always visiting Aradhana. So the connect with the Jnanananda Nam Sankirtana Mandali was already there. Even before Mohan Pai, actually. So I continued, that was continuing. So every time I went to Aradhana, I would sing in Tapavanam, I would sing in Tenangur, I would sing in Chennai. So all that was already happening. Now Mohan Pai thing propelled me into the Marathi Abhang stage. So then both went hand in hand.
Correct.
But somewhere down the line today, Marathi Abhangs have become bigger and people don't know that I can sing Tamil. So, but now I am trying to correct that balance and wanting to sing more on Tamil and Hindi and become a multilingual kind of a presentation, because there is a huge younger audience now wanting to know things. They have this jignasa to wanting to know things, and there is nobody to answer them. Even about our dharma, about our procedures, about our rituals, about our tradition, about our civilization, about our past, about culture, about music. So I think with all this information that we have gathered, we can give them that.
Correct.
And at the touch of a button. So why not?
While doing such programs, are you anytime challenged? Because you also give out a lot of information based on your research. When you sing a song as to in what condition it was sung, or who sang this song, in what situation. Were you anytime challenged by anybody in the audience?
Yes. In Tendangur, there was a fairly well-known Nam Sankirtan person called A.L. Krishnamurti Bhagavatar. A very enlightened person.
A.L.K. Mama.
A.L.K. Mama. He was from Delhi, but he was then in Tendangur. And I sang Narayana Narayana Jai Jai Govinda Hare as a start for my program, which Guruji also did. So I was only kind of copying him for
so
that.
So if you are singing Tamil, you start like that, usually?
I start like that. No, there are hundreds of formats.
Yeah.
You cannot say what, but it just happens on the spur of the moment. So I sang that, and then I said that this was the Namavali which Adi Shankara did when he went to meet his Guru Govinda,
in search of
his Guru Govinda Bhagavat Pada, and that's why this Govinda Hare has come.
Going through that.
And the program ended, everybody clapped and everybody appreciated. But this A.L.K. Baba came to me and told, do you have any documentary evidence that this happened? Now I knew that I have read it somewhere, but I could not recollect where I had read it. Then we came back to Bombay, I checked with you, and you said it was there in a book which you brought from the library, which was brought from Balvikas.
Yeah.
But then we had written that book.
Yeah, library.
Now, how do I establish to A.L.K. Mama? So if you recall, we sent Gautam and we bought that book, took a photocopy of that, then underlined that reference and then sent it to A.L.K. Mama, and he was immensely thankful to me, because he said, Ganeshwan, this is the first time that I ask a question, difficult question, and somebody takes the pains to get back to me with an answer. So like this challenges, there are many challenges that I faced, not only in India. In UK, I was performing in the Webbuilder Vinayaka temple. All Satya Sai Baba devotees were there, and it was a program for 2 hours in a Vinayak temple. I did that, and there was an old lady sitting throughout the program, and then the program ended. She came to me, touched my feet, did namaskar and all that, and she wouldn't go. So then I asked her, why are you not leaving? She said, no, I'm waiting for my grandson. He's a doctor, leading doctor here in London. He will come and take me home. I said, fine. So we were still waiting. We had also not packed up. Rani was there. And after about 20-30 minutes, that grandson came. So the old lady told the grandson, please do namaskaram to Ganesh Manik. So that guy said, sorry, I will not do namaskaram. I don't believe in all this, all humbug. All these religious people, they just come and loot the people here and then go away. Then the old lady almost started crying. No, please Kanna, do namaskaram. Abdilla Cholapda, Avalla Periva, Pichola, namaskaram. I said, no. Then she said, Kanna, Naan Cholre, namaskaram. Then reluctantly he tried to do this. And I told him, sorry, I'm not accepting your namaskaram. What did you say? You say we are all cheats, we come from India, try to sell and loot your money. Can I tell you, I have more money than you would have ever dreamt of. He said, no, I'm a doctor. I said, I don't care. I'm a businessman. I'm an industrialist. I make more money than you do. So don't have this arrogance in you. If you think that you know everything, you are completely mistaken. Then he said, no, why you have all this multiplicity of gods and all that. Then I gave him a big lecture as to why we have multiplicity of gods in our dharma. I'm not going to repeat it here because it's a matter for the program. But then at the end of the conversation, after about 30 minutes, he not only did namaskaram to me, he hugged me, he cried me, and he said, please forgive me for my childishness. And then this boy came to see me off, wanting to lift my luggage and at the airport where I left. So that is a transformation. Knowledge is something which is extremely powerful. And when knowledge is combined with truth, it's a deadly combination. Even if it's a very rich person, he can buy things, but he can never buy knowledge. Knowledge only comes with anubhava.
Correct.
And that anubhava needs time. That wisdom needs time. And when you have this rare combination, you can face anybody in life, so long as you're truthful.
What was that phrase that you told me some days ago? You can have this, this teaches you this, when to speak, or...
No, I'll tell you. Knowledge gives you, or knowledge tells you what to say.
Correct.
Skill tells you how to say.
Correct.
Attitude tells you how much to say. But wisdom tells you whether to say or not.
Correct.
So this is a very important thing in life.
Correct.
Because you must know sometimes that you should not say something.
Yeah.
If it is not the right audience. Because it's a waste of time.
Like you were telling me.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to. Like this doctor. If he is not willing to listen, if he has no faith in that process of doing namaskar. Namaskar is nothing but shedding your ego. Like this unchavarti that we do. What is unchavarti? I have seen great people, people who are enlightened doing unchavarti. Somebody in finance society in some announcement called it, picha vagarde. I said, sorry, it is not picha vagarde. It is shedding of your ego. Despite all your material possessions, despite all your wealth, you have to surrender to God. And that is what that great tradition of unchavarti, which actually originated in Maharashtra.
Gangapur.
So that
it is still
process,
there, still
that
exists.
Process of receiving only to the extent of what you want that day.
Yes.
Never store in your life.
You cannot.
So that process of unchavati, it is uncha vritti. So that level of wisdom is something that is extremely difficult. Whatever we are, it is very difficult to shun your ego.
Correct.
Because you may say it verbally, but in reality to show, it will not allow you. Like for example, I felt bad when he refused to do namaskaram.
Yeah.
That is also my ego.
Correct.
That also I should give up. So I should not have bothered whether he does the namaskaram or not. So finally when he artificially tried to do it, I stopped him. But if I was devoid of ego, I would not have stopped him. What do I can? I mean, I am not somebody because somebody thinks I am somebody.
Yeah.
I am somebody because I am that somebody.
I think, therefore I am.
Yeah. So it is not for someone else to, like you say, giving an award. Just by giving an award, do I become more in export transaction? No. It is only a
recognition.
Process. That's all. But this is the main thing.
Correct.
So award is not the main thing. The actual action which has made you eligible for receiving that award is the biggest thing.
Correct.
That is the biggest effort.
Correct.
So in life, people forget this. Today, generation people think that if you post 10 things in your Instagram, you are very successful. And if that 10 posts that you make, 50 people like it, you have become big. No, sorry, sir. That's nothing. It is just a futile exercise.
You are not even touching people.
No, how are you acquiring knowledge? Simply you take a selfie and then post it and 100 people like it. You don't become big. Are you good here? Are you beautiful here? Merely beauty here doesn't make any sense. It will all go away after some time. After 10 years, all this will vanish. You will also become old. You will also develop wrinkles on your face.
Correct.
So all this beauty helps you nowhere. But if you become beautiful here, it will stay with you lifelong.
Very true.
And you will always be beautiful. And that beauty inside radiates.
Correct.
The outside beauty, the external beauty cannot radiate. It can only attract, but it cannot radiate. For example, in the olden times, when you see a god's photograph, there is an aura behind it.
Correct.
That is radiation. So there is a power there.
Yeah.
So that aura is that power. So external beauty can only attract. It can attract flies, it can attract mosquitoes, it can attract men.
Correct.
But inner beauty is radiant.
Correct.
It can attract devotees, it can attract bhaktas.
Correct.
So once you raise to that level, or once you make an attempt to raise to yourself to that level, that's when you are in the true journey. In Tamil we say, எப்ப நமக்கு தெரியாதுன்னு தெரிய ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோ அப்பதான் தெரிய ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கு. So all these things which great men have said many times, they are not small words in vacuum. Yeah.
So to acquire this kind of knowledge, who or which personalities were helpful for you? Like Swami was one, Guruji was another, Mohan Pai was another, in smaller doses or some incidences, right?
I will put Swami at the highest level.
Obviously.
Guruji at a level slightly lower to them, but equally close.
Yeah.
Because Guruji is the one who drove me to acquire that knowledge.
Correct.
Swami was a repository of knowledge, but you need somebody to push you there to that level.
Correct.
And that was Guruji.
Correct.
Then Mohan Pai as my guru for Marathi Abhangs. Like that, I have encountered many great people. We had Subuduji, we had Muthukrishnan Mama now for the Shringeri Acharyas, the Kanchi Mahans, and Pudukkottu Gopalakrishna Bhagavatar, ALK Mama, Subram Mama. So all these great people have touched you. Pitthupudi Murugadas.
Yes.
He was a great, in my dreams he would always come and sing Krishna and Devi and I'll get floored. So people like this have influenced you.
Correct.
And I would even go to the extent of putting you in that list, because you enabled me to complete that journey. It is not that you have influenced me to get into that journey, but you have kind of acted as a very important catalyst or an accelerator to continue with that journey. Because whenever I have doubts in Marathi or Sanskrit or what have you, you make an attempt to find solutions for me. Now I need somebody like that.
Yeah.
So when I am in search, I am restless.
Yeah, you are.
If I need something, till the time it is resolved, I become very restless.
Agreed.
And in that restless period, I become very angry.
Yeah.
Now I think you have understood that and try to find the solution quickly. My children have not got into that
Yet.
step. Only now that they are learning that when I want something, I want it for whatever reason. But it is always for a good reason. It is never for a bad reason.
And never for a personal reason.
Never for a personal reason. So when accept the glass of water, that is something which the Sharira requires. But in that journey, all these people have touched me. My Tamil teacher has touched me. My Sanskrit teacher has touched me. My college professors have touched me. When I listen to people who sing extremely well classical music, they have touched me. Bhimsen Joshiji and Pandit Jasraj, Kishori Abhang, Sudha Raghunathan, Aruna Sairam was a good friend, and the great Chambai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar, the Sabamuli Srinivasa Iyer, GNB, Balamurli Krishna. All these people keep on touching. For example, recently, just about 20 days back, I listened to Parveen Sultanahji, who sang that Bhavani in Bhairavi Raga. Great experience. But I've also met businessmen. For example, there you have Shakti Kantadas, the Governor of Reserve Bank of India, who attended our decade function.
Correct.
Just 2 months back. He was a great speaker, a great orator. And in my Fine Arts Society tenure of 35 years, I've met almost all kinds of musicians around, and I've interacted with them, and I realized that each one has such separate, different journey.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted this Sambhashan series. In Sambhashan series, we have gone through their life journey almost with about 27 artists we have done.
Correct.
Where how did they become successful and big in music?
Correct.
So each one has a different take. Somewhere it is a father who forced them to do it, somewhere it is a mother who did it, somewhere it is a neighbor who did it, somewhere it was some Swamiji who did it. So each one has a different take as to why they have become big today.
Correct.
Like Bentley Rajesh, it was his elder brother who made it happen.
Correct.
So each one has a different journey.
Yeah.
So we did that Sambhashan series. So there are hundreds and hundreds of people who have touched me, and I'm sure this will keep going. It will only keep going.
So there are in Nam Sankirtan there are people like that. Similarly, in your professional life, there were such milestones, or I should say.
I would say Pandit Arvind Tarik in my professional come music life. He was both.
Yeah.
So I have always treated him as a role model.
Correct.
Then we had C.V. Radhakrishnan of Fine Arts Society,
Correct.
where I consider as a role model for institution work. I consider K.S. Neelakandan, who was very close to us, who is a role model for the public relations work, how to be friendly with people,
Correct.
how to be free with a big crowd. So all this nature I was a very reserved person. But later on, I realized that I can just connect with anybody. I can go and say hello to anybody. I never had that. Even if it's an ordinary person walking on the road, I will. If he's in difficulty, I'll go and help him. In fact, today morning I did something. When I got down from the car, I found this. Not today morning, yesterday morning, I found the security guy here. I gave him a 500 rupee note. He was not expecting it, but I just did it because I felt that there is somebody. I will tell you one more thing which I have not told you so far. After you take this turning, there is a road which connects you to the highway.
Correct.
From the Gurudwara to the highway. And they have planted beautiful plants on the side.
Correct.
And they have put this new age lights.
Yeah.
And in the evening 7:30 you go, it looks so, like heavenly. It's all illuminated, so beautiful. I have seen one old man who cannot even walk, maintaining that every day.
Oh.
Every day he will carry a bag. At some point I'm going to see him. So one day I halted my car and पीछे से हम सब जा रहे थे, but I halted, took out a 500 rupee note and gave it to that old man. He said, "साहब मुझे क्यों दे रहे हो?" He said, "नहीं, आप जो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं." नहीं, मैं भिखारी नहीं हूँ साहब. अरे नहीं, मैं भिखारी बोला ही नहीं आपको. आप तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं ये उम्र में, मुझे लगा कि आपको देना चाहिए. साहब बहुत धन्यवाद. What I'm trying to say is, there is God everywhere.
Yes.
So long as you're able to see Him.
He has helped you, like you say, I have seen. There is one Abhang that you sing, in which you say that you have seen him in different rupas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct. So like that, he has made
It is
his.
the famous Yogiya Durlabha Tomya Get.
Dekhila Sazane. Dekhila
Rupe Anantaveshe Dekile Nyatyasi. In fact, when Mohan Pai taught this song, he never exploited that line. It was me who understood the bhava. And that's when I will halt that, and then I will say Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva.
Different forms.
Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva. So that various forms of godliness. People think God is somebody there. No, God is there everywhere.
Correct.
So long as you are able to perceive it, you are
Correct.
able to see it and identify it and derive bliss, derive happiness. You derive happiness, you give happiness to somebody else.
Correct.
So,
Unless you have that happiness within you, you can't share it with somebody. That is always there. So while doing coming back to this Ananta Rupe Ananta Veshe, it has really happened to us. When whether we are talking of our other daughter, that doctor was there. Then if we are talking of Anand eating glass pieces by mistake, that boy who was there in Hinduja hospital, that what boy who was there. For Anand's this thing, Mama stood rock solid, Mani Mama. Then
when you met with an accident, Mani Mama was there to take care of you. Yes.
Like that, and apart from that, like
connect this to Bage Pude Ubha
Sambhali. Even at Delhi, when all these old ladies had to climb the train, was shifted to another platform, and I was left with 4 bags.
Miracles have followed us everywhere.
Absolutely.
Now I have stopped getting worked up on this miracle. Earlier I wanted to analyze.
Yes.
But after this Arielu episode, which I saw in the Google, I said there's no point in
You have also undergone many other accidents, right? What happened?
Why do you want me to?
So, you have met with so many accidents, not just one that Alia.
Why do you want to know about accidents?
Because they are part of your life.
Marriage itself was an accident.
Agreed. Birth of children was also an accident. So what? They are part of life.
I think it was during my school days. I mentioned about going alone to Tapavaram.
Yes.
And getting lost en route and then slept in a bus. Reached Tirukovilur early in the morning.
Correct.
And when I said Tapavaram, this just about 4 or 5 kilometers. And for villages, 4 or 5 kilometers meant a walking distance.
Yes.
Not for us.
Yes.
But I was quite happy that I'm going to have darshan of Swamiji. And I was all alone, early morning, about 5:30. Nice atmosphere around me. And a lot of bullock carts, Matuvandi as we call them, going alongside, the villagers going to farms and somebody going to purchase.
Typical village life.
Typical village life. So I walk for about 6 kilometers, reach Tapovam and have darshan of Swami. After all that Tapovam visit, I went to Ooty, where one of my attai, that is my father's younger sister, was staying. And during the stay in their house, they said that there is a peak called Doddabetta in Ooty. It's a very famous point where flower shows and all happen. So Gopi, who was my Attai's son, decided to escort me. So we went to see this Doddabetta peak. We saw it, we came back, we got into a bus, which was a kind of a mini van with about 13, 14 people. Somewhere en route it was coming down from the mountain and suddenly the tire burst. And the bus tumbled and actually would have fallen down, but there was a tree and it got stuck into that.
So on the road itself?
On the road itself, the bus got stuck on the
So instead
tree.
of going down the valley, it
Got
just
saved.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, out of the 30 odd people, almost everybody was injured,
Yeah.
including my cousin who broke his backbone.
Oh.
I did not even have a scratch. But because I was the only survivor, even the driver was quite hurt. So immediately I had to call for an ambulance and see that everybody was taken to the hospital. And I had to specially care for my cousin brother. He was in great pain because he could not be lifted
Yeah.
to put on the stretcher. So with all that we managed and came back to my mother's house and reported that Gopi has undergone an accident. And then they asked how you are alright. I said, yeah, I'm saved. I don't know why it was Providence or God's will that I must survive one more dangerous accident apart from the Area Road accident that I had. But it was a very... and then I did not say about this to my family, to my father, mother and all that. And I continued with my travel. I went to some other place and ultimately reached Bombay. And I arrived at Bombay, my parents were very, very upset on me. And they said, why did you not call us out? Why did you not write to us? Because those days, either you could do a telephone or you could write a letter.
And telephone meant you have to call somebody else and they have to call them and you have to book a trunk call.
Yeah, so that was not feasible because in our houses we did not have a telephone.
Correct.
It seems that my Attai had called my father and reported the whole thing, and they were all wondering what happened to Kumar or Ambi. And I did not even have a scratch. Though one would say, no, he was quite alright, but still as parents, as father and mother, they would be very concerned that what happened to you and whether you're alright.
Correct.
So my father really fired me left, right and center. But I said nothing happened, so there was nothing to report. He said, no, but you underwent an accident and it was a serious one, it gave in the papers and all that. I felt it was quite okay, God has saved me. So what is the need to make it a drama? So that was the second accident. Third and equally disturbing accident was when you were with me. Our Guru Mohan Bhai was sick. He lived with us for 2 years. So he was almost like my father. We treated him like our own father. And that was a glorious time that we had when we had understood the Marathi about the inner meaning and the tunes and all that. But he developed some heart ailment, so he wanted to go to his young brother, Chagan, in Goa. So there it seems he was admitted in the hospital and we got a phone call from Chagan that Guruji is in ICU and he desperately wanted to see him. This was sometime around 4 o'clock in the evening. So we checked whether the air tickets were available, but it was a weekend and no tickets were available. So we decided to take the car and go. So I went to my Lalu, my driver, to check whether he can drive us to Goa and come back. And he was ready. So we left at about 7 o'clock in the evening. We were driving and at about 9
We
o'clock.
carried that Samadhi, we had completed.
Exactly. We had continued with the Samadhi series. We performed in Dadar Vitthal Mandir. And he was very keen to know whether I am able to do that entire program. And he had taken a promise from me that wherever I go, you will continue with this procedure. So it was a 3-hour program which we did in PL Vitthal Mandir.
And it was
And we
recorded
carried
in
that
Sony handicap.
handicap to show it to him that we did what we promised to.
Correct.
So I think around 9 o'clock we halted somewhere for dinner.
Yeah.
And then we were travelling and somewhere near Chiklu. The car, I think maybe Lalu dozed off or I don't know what happened. The car went into a ravine and tumbled for about 500
It actually went like this.
So the car left the road and thud. came down the mountain from about 500 meters or so, and all the tires were gone.
The rim was like this.
Rim was like this. Chapat ho gaya. The only thing that worked were the headlights.
Yes.
And it was a Ford Escort.
Yes.
A sturdy car. And as we landed down after 500, and all this happened within a few seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe 4 seconds for us to tumble
I was
down.
sleeping behind. You were
behind, and in fact, I still remember when we started going down. I held you like this.
Yeah.
And so that you will not fall.
Because I didn't have the seat belt. I was lying down.
So all this happened, and we landed
Yeah.
into a ditch. And fortunately, the lights were on.
So we could
So
see.
slowly we
We can
came out.
get down.
And we thought we were not hurt grievously. There was no blood or there was
Nowhere.
no
Nothing.
cut. And Lalu was also quite hurt.
Yeah.
And he was also quite shaken up.
Yeah.
Also. And it was very cold.
Yeah.
It was
December.
almost December. And it was very cold, and we just didn't know what to do. So we crawled actually. We didn't know where the
We
road
saw the
was.
headlights moving up.
So we kind of surmised that the road must be on this side.
Yeah.
So you crawled this way, I crawled this way. Suddenly we lost each other. Then we had to shout at each other. Somehow we managed about half an hour or so to meet again on the road. Then Lalu came, and we also shouted for him. Then we found a small pawn shop. So we sat there,
टपरी का जैसा कुछ तो था.
huddled together, and this must be about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And slowly, about 6 o'clock, the villagers started moving, and suddenly people realized that
We are
लोग यहाँ
sitting.
बैठे हैं. So somebody came and asked, "काय झालं?" And we said, "असं कारचा accident. कार कुठे आहे?" ते काय माहित नाही आता. Because
Yeah.
in that night we didn't know where we had fallen.
And where we have moved.
Then by that time, another group of villagers who were coming on the other side, they said, "गाड़ी पडलेली आहे तिकडे." So we said, "That is the car." So they gave us chai and all that. They took us to the accident site. We took our luggage, and then we decided that.
We left Lalu behind to take care of that accident
that
reports.
is when I called up the office, told Vora, gave him the location, and I said, "You come here and follow the procedure because it's a police case."
Yeah.
So follow the procedure. Lalu is waiting here, and me and Latika will take an ST bus because
Yeah.
he was in the ICU,
Correct.
so we had to see him urgently. So from Chiplun we took an ST bus,
To Ratnagiri.
all muck on
Yes.
the body, and we were booked in Sirade, Goa,
Correct.
one of the best 5-star hotels. So we enter the hotel and we are filled with muck. So the reception gives us a dirty look. That's when we tell them, "Sorry, we met with an accident." They immediately got us some medical help and tablets and all.
Yeah.
And I think you were more grievously hurt. One of your rib had broken. Cracked. And but still we didn't realize it then.
Yeah, we didn't.
We just
It was
went
painful, but it was not so
Yeah.
painful that to stop our day-to-day activity.
So we went, we saw Mohan Bhai, and seeing us, he got up and sat.
He removed
all the oxygen mask. Suddenly he was all right.
Yes.
And then I said, "Sir, आम्ही समाधी सोहळ्याचा कार्यक्रम केला बरोबर आणि हे बघा तुमचं हे
While
body."
seeing that, he got
And he got completely all right. And
Doctor came.
And it was all over. Then they took us to the house for lunch. And I remember I could not lift my hand to put that roti into my mouth. I had some hurt here. So they asked, "काय झालं? का तुम्हाला त्रास होता का?" Then we explained to them what happened, but we told them, "Don't tell sir. We are okay." Then I think we managed to come back to Bombay. So Vora managed to stay there. Actually, Lalu got arrested by the police.
Yeah.
They had doubt whether he was hand in glove for that accident. Then I told him, "No, he has been with me for a long time." So Vora got him released and managed to get a crane to get the car out from the ravine, load it in. It was a complete smack. It was
Battery
completely-
was in one place.
Everything was gone. They just had to पूरी बांध के लेके आया था, ऐसा लेके आया था।
Correct.
तो वो तो गाड़ी तो गया अपना, insurance like कुछ तो मिला, but whatever. So and then we came here and got ourselves admitted into the hospital, and that's when your rib there was a fracture. It took about 20 days for us to come out of that trauma, and it was a terrible thing to happen. So I think God again decided to give me a shock, possibly to indicate that you are not meant for what you are doing. You are meant for something else. So go to Abhang's. Take that as a main time thing, and rest is all just tools for you to reach. I think that's a sign that God was trying to tell us, both of us. And then there was a program which we did somewhere in Bhandup or something, where all the ladies, when we narrated the story, they all started crying.
Yeah.
And they were like my mothers, and
Yeah.
they all started crying. काय झालं, कशाला तुला इतका त्रास झाला, तो गुरुचं.
विमल काकू मालती आजी माई
Very
माडी
touching
वाले.
kind of a sequence.
Yes.
But then we came out of it quite all right. Then we had another mishap in the office. In the month of February, we had a fire when one full floor was gutted in fire. Even today, I don't know how it happened or why
It happened.
But anyway, that's all a part of life.
Then your car
these
went.
were the accidents. And the car got burnt. The Mercedes car suddenly in pouring rain, जोर से बारिश हो रही है और आग पकड़ लिया. कैसे कहाँ क्या कुछ पता ही नहीं. Then I was on a stage in Chennai with Sudha Raghunathan, and you called me that गाड़ी आग लग गया. I said, why are you calling me? Call the fire brigade. But गाड़ी तो गया. We lost about 30-35 lakhs in that. It was a high-end car. And of course we
Got another
new one. But I think while there have been situations like this, but I try to keep myself fit on a daily basis.
Yes.
And as you would recall, the morning I get up, there are 3 things that has to happen. One is my wife has to be next to me. Second, she has to do this
coffee
flying business. Third is I must complete Sudoku.
Without disturbance.
And when I complete Sudoku, I know my brain is fit for that day.
Correct.
And sometime towards the afternoon, on my office computer, I play Minesweeper, I play Solitaire, I play one more game. Spider Solitaire. Just to ensure that my reactions are up.
Yeah.
And the reflexes are in order. See, with advanced age, with aging, one tends to slow down. And one cannot allow that slow down till the time you have established in everything. For example, if I want to hand the business over to my son, I must ensure that he inherits it in a right manner. So till that time, you have to see that everything is going all right. So I play games every day without fail.
Yes.
And if on some day I don't finish Sudoku or I make a mistake, I become very restless. And now you have found a new solution that you draw it on another piece of paper, ensure that I'll finish it, so that I'll leave for the office.
No, not leave for the office. Your mind has peace.
And I have never taken a holiday.
Never.
And in the last about 40 years.
Even when Anand was to be born, even in Delhi, you arrived from abroad
Jordan.
3 days ago.
Just 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
And you jumped over the compound wall and got yourself admitted in the hospital. Funny. So we have undergone all kinds of things in life, the ups and downs and the latitudes and the longitudes and what have you. But life has been wonderful.
Yes, life has been wonderful for us. When you were doing this Nam Sankirtan with Mohan Pai, you were also singing Tamil in a Tamil group. From that group, I think Ravi and somebody else also came into Mohan Pai's group for a period of time, right? Along with them, you have visited many places around Mumbai and in and around Maharashtra, right? What are the experiences when you travel outside? You were in a certain position in your professional life. You were growing there. Whereas these...
Very funny. First of all, Mohan Pai never realized that I have become big in life.
Just like Guruji.
For him, I was still that Ambi. There was a time when we had a program at Badra. Before I go to the Tamil group, I will say what happened with Mohan Pai. There was a program at Bandra and I had forgotten all about it. And 5 o'clock...
You were having some crisis in the office, I think, yeah.
So at 5 o'clock, I received a phone call from Shankar telling that, "Arey, program has to start." I said, "What program?" "Arey, bhajan hai." Then I realized I have not even got the harmonium. So how do I manage? So I told him, "You managed to get us a harmonium from somewhere and you start the bhajan," because I had forgotten completely about it. I was in a crisis. One of my consignments, something went wrong in the customs, so I had to explain all that. I said, "You start the program." But by the time I could do that and take my car, go and visit the program almost ended. The last song was being sung. And Mohan Pai was terribly angry with me that day. And how can you be so irresponsible? So as I enter the venue, Titek bus, you know, and I was flabbergasted in all this crisis. My guru says in there, no, you are not required. So after the program ended, everybody had a chai. Then suddenly he said, Ambila chai. I drank the chai. Ye pode. Ye beti. Bhairavi man. So we started the program all over again.
From Bhairavi Ulta.
From Bhairavi Ulta. So that was the relationship with Mohan Bhai. He would never accept that. Then he said, Kai zalo tula? I said, sir, crisis hota mana. Te sodun de. Ushir ka hala. So that is what I am trying to explain. But it never got into him. He was quite. I also remember another sequence where Mohan Bhai was suddenly said, I want to go to my sister's house.
That is the time when he used to stay with us.
Yeah. So suddenly one day he said, आता मी बहिणीकडे जातो. 1-3-4 दिवस तिथे राहून परत येतो. Fine. So we went and dropped him. Suddenly one day afternoon he calls me up at 1:30.
Second day or second day itself?
Whatever. So he calls up and says, तू लगेच येते. मला घेऊन जायचं. I said, sir, संध्याकाळी येतो. ऑफिस हे करू. नाही, तो आत्ताच आहे. 10 मिनिटात तू या इथे ये. So I thought he was under some friction. So I went and I found that he had already packed all his belongings and he was sitting outside. And I think they had a fight. So he didn't know what to do and he was in a terrible mood. So I got him into the car. He wouldn't speak. So I asked him, काय झालं sir? भांडण झालं का? सोडून दे. But he was crying. Somewhere as I was crossing sign, suddenly he went down and touched my feet. Tu माझा विठ्ठल आहेस. I just didn't know what to do. Obviously, he had some big fight within the family, and my guru touching my feet is unheard. Then I took him and put him on the side. I said, "Sir, आवरून घ्या, घरी जाऊ, नंतर बोलू आपण. असं काय प्रश्नच नाही. I'm always there with you. There is a question." And he cried and kind of, I was driving, he held my hand like this and doing this. I said, sir, काय झालं? शांत व्हा, बघू आपण. And then we went home.
Yeah.
And for 2-3 days he was not all right. I think they had a fight within the family. And he suddenly realized that even the family does not care for him.
Because he didn't have his own children.
Son, Ganesh Ma, who is taking care of him, who is keeping him in the house, who is doing all this. And in fact, if all the people come to our house and spend time with him, they all had the same thought.
Yeah.
But it went off well. And then he passed away and all that. That was the time when.
But when he was in our house, Anand used to play tricks on him.
Many times. He will deliberately sing wrong so that he will teach him properly.
And that keyboard.
Keyboard.
Mohan Bhai was not comfortable with keyboard.
No, even
but
with
he
the
had.
harmonium. Gada Firao, so Anand will do this instead of fun we had.
Also in the cricket they used to fight.
Cricket was, because he was a cricketer himself. He was a tall, 6.5 feet tall and charismatic figure.
वो सारस्वत बैंक का या किसका तो भी चेयरमैन उनका ये था ना
रविंद्र पाटकर.
हाँ.
रविंद्र पाटकर, no, Gavaskar.
Sunil Gavaskar. Sachin Tendulkar also was his relation.
When we did a program in Vengurla, Sunil Gavaskar's parents came to see us off in the bus.
Yes.
They attended our program. Yes. They came to see us off. And there was one more Borde or somebody who lived in the same building. So a lot of cricketers. So he was always, in fact, when he is walking on the road, suddenly he finds some people playing, hey, chal ek ball ta.
Yes. And even during the program he used to do that. Thambo re gaadi zara ek ball takun yeto.
So he was always very jovial.
Yeah.
And, but he's a great person.
True. Very true. So, I was talking about the Ravi and somebody else also coming into your fold into Mohan Bhai's thing. So along with them also you have travelled.
But that was a short-lived thing. We had formed a group called Saptaswarangal. And I think we have already covered that aspect. But there was one program in Karjat. And we used to charge money for doing the program because there were a lot of expenses. The instruments had to be maintained and we had to go travel. So all this cost money. And we were all students, so we cannot afford putting it from our pockets. So we used to charge money. But because the programs were so successful, people were willing to pay. So there was a program arranged in Karjat for Shasa Priti, and Raju told us that it's a very important program. They are going to pay us well, so all of you have to behave yourself very well, and you have to practice everything. So for about 6-7 days, we practiced all these songs and all spick and span. And they also made arrangements for us to stay there for one night. So we go there. They have arranged for a hotel and all that, and there was a big stage with a curtain. So you're all very strict and serious, and the program has to start. So suddenly the curtain opened, and we found not a single soul in the front. There were 2 young boys playing goti on the ground, and so we all looked at Raju कि भाई तुमने तो इतना बड़ा चढ़ा के किए तो कुछ है ही नहीं. Raju also could not control his laughter. But Ravi, while playing tabla, suddenly he stopped and he did this,
कोई दिखता है क्या?
कोई दिखता है क्या? And then he gave a sign of joy. I said, what happened? 2-3 कुत्ता बैठा है उसमें program. So these kind of funny situations also happen. But they paid us. The fact is they paid us, but somehow that crowd was
With
not
that, and that reminds me, in that enthusiasm of organizing somebody's program in some place, there was one more program organized by somebody from Dadar, and they said no, it is very important program in that temple.
Oh yes, I was asked for a detailed profile.
Yes, detailed
all
profile.
That profile we came. First of all, we reached there, and for a long time the microphone fellow never turned up. Then they said no, ते सगळं जेवण घेऊन नंतर येतील. तुम्ही कार्यक्रम सुरू करा. आम्ही सुरू केलं, पण कोणी पुढे दिसले
No,
नाही.
when we tried to stage के ऊपर जाने का कोशिश किया, तभी कुत्ता गुस्सा में अपने को देखा.
नहीं, वो कुत्ता तभी वो गुस्से से देखता है मेरे को नहीं मालूम, लेकिन वो शांत से सामने बैठ के उधर बैठा था, तो मुझे लगा. I mean, for that matter, you will not believe, I sang a Dattatreya song.
Yes.
Thinking that very close to dog, तीन शिरे सहा हात तया माझा दंडवत काके जोडी पुढे श्वान
नित्य
जान्य विचे स्नान. So I looked at the dog and said, I'm
Maybe.
All that happened, and ultimately the program ended. Nobody came actually, and as we went down from the stage, that's when I realized that I was occupying his space.
The dog space.
So that is why the dog was looking at me constantly.
कभी खत्म कर दे.
खत्म हो रहा है और उठ रहा है तुम मेरे को जाके सोना है वहाँ. And so this kind of funny things happen. But equally, there are situations where we are taken aback by the audience.
Yes.
For example, in Telukintan when we went,
Yes.
500 children singing Lalita Navaratna Malay with us.
With book also.
With the book and uttering all the Mariamma, Muthu Mariamma. So that has also happened.
Yes.
So both extremes, but it is fun. I mean, after all, you are taking God's name, whether there is an audience or there is no audience. It is like Guruvayur, you are singing for the God.
Guruvayur program.
Yeah, it was a real, the Marathi.
Yes.
Entire
First in their auditorium and then next down also.
Chennai,
Both the programs.
Fabulous. These programs are successful.
Yeah. And we didn't expect so many Maharashtrians in Guruvayur, remember? That entire goldsmith community. So those kind of experiences are also there. Similarly, in you talk about this Wimbledon temple. I think you must have performed there 2 to 3 times.
No, Wimbledon temple was only once. Then there was a temple called Southall temple, which is actually managed by the Punjabis. In fact, Southall is all dominated by the Indians. You have all the Sardars, all the Punjabi community located there. So Rani went and talked to one Mr. Bhatia, who was the administrator. Beautiful Krishna temple, huge. But we were Tamils, so they did not expect that we are going to sing Hindi, or at least they did not expect that any connect of Rani will sing Hindi. So they said, "Chalo, go." But as I went to the stage, suddenly one guy brought the tabla. And he said, "Sir, मैं आपके साथ बजा सकता हूँ." I said, "जरूर है." तो बैठा, तो अच्छा प्रोग्राम पिकअप हो गया. And I sang 100% Hindi. Sant Brahmananda, Kabir, Tulsi, Meera, Raidas. So when I sang all this, they were very thrilled, and suddenly the crowd started gathering. A lot of crowd was there, and I was very happy. After all, in a place like London, in a Southall temple, Krishna का temple. तो जैसे प्रोग्राम खत्म हुआ, उनका सिस्टम है लगता है. Every person has to come to you, pay respects, and they started putting money on my harmonium. Somebody 10 pounds, somebody 50 pounds, somebody 100 pounds. I I was stunned because I am not used to that kind of situation. Coming and paying respects is okay. And the organizer came and told me, वो जब तक last आदमी नहीं आते आप उठेंगे नहीं यहाँ से, क्योंकि वो वैसा उनका सिस्टम है, लोग प्यार से आके आपको मिलते हैं, तो आप जरा उठिए मत. तो 300 लोग थे. Imagine 300 people coming and paying respects and putting money on that. At the end, I said, what do I do with this money? So I told the administrator, साहब ये तो आपका मंदिर का है, सब ले लीजिए. नहीं, मंदिर का है, वो वहाँ डालते हैं, ये आपका पैसा है. तो मैंने कहा कि भाई मैं तो पैसा नहीं लेता हूँ ऐसा. तो वो रानी को बुलाया, बोले ये ले लीजिए आप. तो I told Rani, you will not touch it because we have not come here for this money. Then that Bhatia took me into his room and said, no sir, please don't mistake. This is given to you with love and affection. So you just take it and you can donate it to somebody. I said, yeah, that makes sense. So I told Rani, I will not touch it. You collect everything, and it turned out to be a huge sum.
Yeah.
So because I don't sing for money, but it was a huge sum, so I gave the responsibility to Rani, and Rani then gave some donations and that. So these kind of experiences in different locations, different kinds of things happen. Elderly people. I remember in Tedangur, I sang Maze Manorata, and there was a very elderly person whom I was told is a very big man, the Shuka Brahman. So when I came down from the stage along with Mohanpai and all that, he came, he hugged me, and he touched my feet. And I immediately held him, no. And Guruji gave me a tight slap at the back. Mutta. No, I didn't know what mistake I did.
It has been our story.
Tradition.
We get beaten up, we knew nothing.
Absolutely. So everything was over. Then he called me into the room. Then he said, what did you do? I said, I tried to lift him because he was trying to touch my feet. He said, you're senseless. He's not touching your feet. He's still in that Vithal's world. He has sung, he has heard your song, and that song impressed him, and he's still crying about that song. And he wants to express his gratitude to Vithal, not to you. And you, like a fool, you think that they are falling at your feet. They are falling at the feet of the Nama. And at that moment, you are the embodiment of that Nama. So don't think that this is for you as a person. This is for you as a person who sang. So like this, I have got beaten up, sometimes with a grand logic, but with my father, there was no logic. The logic was I have to be beaten for whatever reason. So that has happened. Sometimes I have troubled my sister, sometimes I have bothered my mother, sometimes I have
You have also conned her, your sister's friend.
Yeah, hundreds of episodes. In my childhood, I have every day, 10 reasons था उसके लिए कौन सा एक reason के लिए you get beaten up. And next day again the repetition starts. So I have stopped bothering. Every day as my father comes, I know within the next 10 minutes I have to show my back or his or his, and I will see all the stars. And sometimes
with the lights on.
In fact, that reminds me, I went to see Badan Pe Sitare Lapete Hue. I think it was a film of Shami Kapoor, and I was a great fan of Shami Kapoor. So Geeta, as usual, she bought the tickets.
Your escort.
We went and saw the film. I was so thrilled with that song. So I came home, my father comes from the office, and I'm busy singing Badan Pe Sitare Lapete Hue, to jaane na kyun ja rahi ho, mere paas aao. And I didn't realize my father was standing behind me. ऐसा एक मेरा तो सितारे आसमान के दिखने लगे, बदन का सितारा सब गायब हो गया. And then he said, what are you singing? And I said, Papa, sorry, film song. How did you see this film? Then the entire bean spilled out. गीता ने बोला, तो गीता को बुला के दिन वार्निंग देखिए, तू कुछ भी करो, मेरा बच्चे को लेके पिक्चर ले जाने का. ऐसा बोल के 3 दिन में हम गए, वो अलग बात. तो इसका धर्मेंद्र का पिक्चर था, कौन सा था? एक beautiful he looked at that film. प्यार ही प्यार. My fan was the music, the songs, the tunes.
Because in those days, apart from radio and the films, actual films, we never got to listen to these songs. We didn't have the records, we didn't have cassettes.
My interest was not in films. My interest was in the music, the tune.
Music, yeah.
And उसमें भी एक बहुत अच्छा गाना था. And very often, I never understood what that song meant, frankly.
Correct.
But when you, for example, Aradhana, मेरे सपनों की रानी कब आएगी तू, This was okay. Then what is that other song? That fire?
कौन सा?
The famous one, Aradhana ka.
Fire?
Around the fire, Rajesh Khanna and the heroine is seated. There is a song. That song was meant for adults.
रूप तेरा मस्ताना.
प्यार मेरा दीवाना. और जो हो गई. So my father really tasted me that day. He said, "Why do you sing such songs?" I said, "1 minute, I don't understand the meaning." So from that time, my mind unconsciously detached itself from the words.
That is a good excuse.
So if you say that I make mistakes in the lyrics, because I was kind of beaten up so many times on the lyrics, so I don't want to look at it. I'm only interested in
But then you used to sing this song in a different way.
Which one?
This Roop Tera.
No, not me, one of my friends. Roop tera charana, pyar mera aatana, dono milke baarana ho gaye. Anyway, so these are all childhood, I had a lot of fun with my friends. And they were equally ignorant about the meaning.
Correct.
See, we had no ulterior motive and all these things we never understood. But the idea was to have fun in life. So going to a movie meant, buying tickets in black. You knew everything was wrong, but you did it because you had no option. You have bought tickets in black for me.
Yes, many times.
We are all equally culpable. So we did a lot of such small pranks in our times. And in fact, when I went for a movie with you in the Akashvani theatre, my friends spotted us in a hotel. And then from that day...
No, they spotted us coming from Akashvani theatre to the thing.
Whatever. So
through that University Road.
We were caught Range Haath. And my friends will never forgive me because I never revealed this to them. So I was caught Range Haath and they still tell me. Chotu yaar, bada ustam nikla tu to. Anyway.
So, in these film songs का journey में रवि कितना दिन तक तुम्हारे साथ में था? Because
Ravi
you
was not a part for the film songs.
No, मोहन पै का इसमें group में.
Ravi was there for a very short time, maybe 1 year. Then he went to Middle East. But coming back to films, there was a famous song of Brahmachari.
यादों को तेरी मैं दुल्हन बना कर रखूंगा मैं दिल के पास मत लो मेरी जान.
This song was so stuck in my mind because it was Shivaranjani Rag.
Yeah.
Again, let me say, I was not concerned with the lyrics.
Obviously.
The music
You didn't
was
understand the meaning.
Outstanding. The Rag Shivaranjani was so outstanding. I had seen this film in Plaza. Will you believe that I saw the film, was floored by this song. I waited outside. I gave money to the other guy. I said, I don't want to see the film. I only want to listen to this song. Because those days, you had no method to hear that song again unless you went for the movie. So I waited outside the theatre for the next 2.5 hours for the film to end because it's a last song almost.
Yeah.
I waited there to listen to that song again. And that is one song in my life. If somebody wants to rate from the film song, which is the song you like the most, it was this Dil Ke Jaloge Mein. What a rag, what a way to handle that raga. Shivaranjani is an extremely simple but a complicated raga because you can attach it to the Gandhara, you can attach the Pratimadhyamam, so you can attach the other Daivat. So you had several options to beautify, the embellish that raga.
Correct.
So today you refer to now Ananta Rupe Ananta Veshe Dekhile Natyansi. This is Shivaranjani. So all these options is what I try to import for Marathi Abhang. The original is from the film tracks. That has gone inside, inside you. And that
the handling of ragas, you mean?
Yeah, the handling of the ragas. The handling of the variations of the ragas.
Correct.
And then when you try to beautify it here, it sounds so beautiful. So all that I'm trying to say is every format has its greatness. Film songs, while is not very intelligent to get attached to film songs, but there is a repository of good music there. And I should confess that I was driven to music only through films. My mandolin with Bol Radha, Bol Sangam, Ya Buddha Mil Gaya, and that's where the journey started, right up to Dil Ke Jaroge Mein, and then the Ek Tujhe Ke Liye songs. That was also Shivaranjani, incidentally. Yes. So all this entire spectrum of films which I have seen from my, say, 20 years till 40 years, or then I lost complete touch with films. I lost interest in films. But
because by that time you understood music itself.
Yeah, the musicality of that films has definitely impressed me. So that has carried me forward.
If you remember, during that trip at Lavelle, I was listening to the cassette recorder playing the Natya Sangeet. Cassette recorder was something new, and I always had my cassette recorder and a transistor with me because I am fond of music.
Incidentally, you were enamored by me for Visarunuko to Sansari,
no,
which was again Shivaranjani. No, that Ramnavami event.
That Ramnavami event, it is not Visarunuko, it is Chalo Mana Ganga Yamunati.
That was another song.
That was the only song.
Visarunuko was Shivaranjani again.
Yes.
And then you played this Karaha Kari Dharila Shubhangi.
That was in that
trip. Marathi song. Now,
Ajit Kadkade.
It was blasphemous. Mohan Bhai and all the elders sitting here, and you making me sit near the steps.
I didn't make you sit. You came because you wanted to understand that song.
Whatever you say.
No.
We sat near the steps, and here I am listening to Karaha Kari Dharila Shubhangi, and everybody telling Ganesh, "Kambi kai zalo tula? Wait lagla ka? Ye un bas ikde."
That is because you never understood the meanings.
Exactly.
And you wanted to understand the meaning. कि ये क्या है? क्या चल रहा क्या है?
No.
What are you playing? You asked me in so many words. What are you playing?
That is for the music, not
Correct.
for Karaha Kari Dharila
Obviously.
Shubhangi. So don't hold my hands anytime.
That is the reason you never hold any hands.
Go ahead.
So, from Ravi is the saying, before you left for Delhi, you and Ravi recorded.
Oh, that was a fabulous evening. See, Ravi was very upset that I was leaving him and going to Delhi. We were very close to each other,
yes,
both in terms of musicality, tabla, tal, whatever. And when finally I had to go, Ravi said, I want to remember your singing. So we sat in his house, he played tabla. For 1.5 hours we recorded various hit songs of mine. Hit songs of mine.
Yes.
Purana Nilevine, Torana Pandalile, Pullangu and Koduthu, like that song. And I still vividly remember that was one of the best recordings I've ever given. And Ravi gave a copy to me. I don't know where that copy is today. But yes, it was one of the best remembrances.